first graders, today I'm going to be reading to you a story called Playing Loteria. And Loteria is kind of like a bingo game that is played in Mexico and a lot of Latin American countries like El Salvador and Guatemala. And it's kind of like bingo, and you have to, and someone calls out cards, and it's your job to kind of fill out the card that you have. And once you win, usually you win a prize. When you play with adults, you kind of win like little prizes that are bigger. So it's kind of like a really fun game that a lot of families play when it's time for Christmas or any of those kinds of holidays that are celebrated a lot in Latin American countries. So this is called Playing Loteria. It's by Renee Colata Lainez, and it's illustrated by Jill Arena. I don't want to stay with Grandma. I'm not used to speaking Spanish, I told my mom. You know more than you think, she said. That's why you are here in San Luis de la Paz. With your abuela, you will practice your Spanish. But how will we understand each other if she doesn't speak English and my Spanish is not very good? I asked. Loved ones have special ways of understanding each other. You'll see, she said. From the bus station, Grandma and I walked to the plaza together. When we turned a corner, I heard music and saw a mariachi band playing and singing. Today is the first day of La Feria, Grandma said. Grandma, I love the fair. The street smells of carne asada, churros, and tamales, and a Ferris wheel went around and around as it followed the rhythm of the music. And this is the fair, and that's the mariachi band. This is my Loteria stand, Grandma said proudly. Cool pictures, I said as I pointed to the big colorful cards on the table. These are the game boards of La Loteria. Each board has 16 pictures. When we play, you can use these frijoles to cover the pictures, Grandma explained. Beans, I asked. Frijoles, Grandma said. The art is hard. And this is her stand, and those are the Loteria cards. Grandma went to the microphone and asked, who is ready to play Loteria? In a few minutes, the Loteria stand was full of people. Free, I repeated in my head many times. Then Grandma drew small cards from a metal wire barrel. Every time she called a picture, she said a phrase. So it is kind of like bingo, and Grandma's calling the cards. Rosa, Rosita, Rosura, Grandma called as she pretended to pull petals from a rose and blow them with kisses. Grandma is funny, I giggled. Verde, blanco y colorado, la bandera del soldado, she called, waving a Mexican flag. People put beans on their game board to match the cards that Grandma called. El gallo, el rey del gallinero, she called. Finally, a lady put a bean on the last card of her board game, and the rooster and the hollers. Loteria! Then she took a prize, 5 tickets to the circus. Later, at Grandma's house, I took some beans and said, frijoles. Muy bien. You are speaking Spanish, Abuela said. I would like to learn all the phrases of La Loteria, I said. But they are too hard. Let's make a deal. I teach you all 54 phrases, and you teach me some English, she said. See, Grandma, but don't call me Grandma. Please, call me Abuela. Abuela. Abuelita, I said. And that's Grandma. So they've made a deal. The next day, Abuela and I walked around the fair. We ate cotton candy and caramel apples. We rode the carousel and the roller coaster. We milked a cow and pet some cows in the farm animal exposition. We saw clowns on stilts and the circus animal parade. Before we returned home, I won a big piggy bank playing Pin the Tail on the donkey. I carried it home proudly. So now he's learning that it doesn't really matter that he knows a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of English. At home, Abuela showed me a picture of El Gallo. What is the phrase, she asked me. El Gallo. De rey del gallinero. Oh, I said it. The rooster. King of the henhouse, I laughed. What a funny phrase. Abuela and I stood up and walked like roosters. We flapped our arms like wings. Cock-a-doodle-doo, I said. Kee-dee-kee, she said. Let's put the rooster card inside my piggy bank, I said. Rooster, she laughed. Every day at the fair, Abuela and I practiced our phrases together. El gorrito, el barril, la rana, the bonnet, the barrel, the frog. Bonnet, the barrel, the frog. Every night at home we practiced even more. El soldado, la corona, el vendado. The soldier, the crown, the deer. First, there were lots of cards in the box. El cotoro, el melón, el piño. The parrot, the cantaloupe, and the pine tree. But every night the box was getting less full, and my piggy bank was getting fuller. So now he's learning all these words and putting them in his piggy bank. He's practicing a lot. One afternoon, we went to the open market. There were many people selling fruit, meat, and candy. Let's buy a mango, Abuela said. Mango is the same in Spanish, I told her. Let's buy pollo, Abuela said. Pollo in English is chicken, I told her. Then Abuela held a cabbage in her hand and said, I know, let's buy un red chicken. No, Abuela, I laughed. Repollo is cabbage, not re-chicken. El inglés is so hard, Abuela said. Bien complicado. It's true. English is a little bit tricky sometimes. One day, Abuela took the last card from the box. She showed me the card. ¿Cuál es esta? What is it? I stood up and said, La mano. Dame una mano. Dos. Bailemos los dos. Abuela held my hand and started dancing with me. Felicidades. Congratulations. You know, all the cards from La Loteria, she said. Let's put it in your piggy bank. Loteria. Hablo español. I speak Spanish, I hollered. So now he knows all these words. But look, the next afternoon in the Loteria stand, Abuela said, Now you are in charge of calling the cards. Yes, I said. I will do it in English and Spanish. La estrella, la guía de los marineros. The star, guide of the sailors. El sol, el abrigo de los pobres. The sun, code for the poor. And soon, a señora stood and hollered, Loteria! You are the best caller in San Luis, everyone clapped. Look at him. He did the Loteria all on his own. And I think he did a really good job at it. The last night of the feria, there was a big dance. Come here, dance, said Abuela in English. Let's dance, Abuela. Bailemos, I said. Suddenly, I felt two lovely hands covering my eyes. Mama, estás aquí. You are here, I exclaimed. Hijo, you are speaking Spanish, she said as she hugged me. And look, they were bonding, and then Mom came. The next day, Abuela took Mama and me to the bus terminal. Can I stay a little longer with Abuela? You have to start school soon. Next year we can come back together, she said. After a big hug, Abuela gave me my piggy bank and a present inside. I found the game board for Loteria. I love you, she said. Te amo, I said. So now he learned a new game that he can play and still practice his Spanish. And at the end, we have a little information. It says, Loteria, also called Mexican Bingo, is a very popular game played at fairs, carnivals, homes, and playgrounds in Mexico and Latin America. And these are the rules of the game. You need 2 or more players and a caller. Each player is given a game board. So kind of all the pictures, some of the pictures of the cards that are being called. The caller draws a card and describes the pictures using phrases. The player uses beans, coins, or kernels of corn to cover the pictures on their game board that have been called. And the first player to cover all the pictures on their game board and holler Loteria wins. And these are some of the pictures that you can sometimes have in your board game. So it's kind of like little pictures that are used a lot in Latin America or in Mexico, such as you have the moon, a watermelon, a pear, a parrot, ketchup apparently, and the heart and the rooster, and then you have some regular ones like the sun, the deer, and the bonnet, and the frog. And this is a really wonderful story, and I love it so much because in my house when I was little, we used to play Loteria when we celebrated Christmas, and we had a lot of family come over, and it was a really fun event. And we still kind of do it sometimes when we are all together, but not all the time. So I just wanted to share this wonderful story, and I will hopefully read to you another story next time. Thank you for everything, and have a good day, first graders. Bye.